Oh, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. What do you want now?
More games! I mean, that skit is quite dramatic, but I do feel video games might be spoiling us, what with them being both A, brilliant, and B, released all the time. Sometimes I feel I've barely got chance to make it through the tutorial of the thing I've been looking forward to for ages before I'm already looking forward to something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault. You know, we're just not designed to process all of this amazing stuff at once.
We mentioned Metal Gear Solid Delta there, and Hollow Knight's Silk Song is also out, and at the time of writing, in literally less than 2 weeks, Ghost of Yotei, arguably the biggest, most exciting PS5 game of 2025, is coming out. You know, I'm not going to be missing that. I've been looking forward to cleaving through early 17th century Japan as vengeful samurai Atsu for years. Nothing is coming between me and this game, not even all the other brilliant games I still haven't finished. The wonderful problem here is there are too many good games, and I'm making the executive decision to no longer feel bad about constantly craving the next one. So with that in mind, I've decided to put together a list of games I really want right now, proper Veruca Salt style. No, I'm not going to sing. Regardless of the fact I already have loads of amazing games at home that I still haven't finished.
So thanks, developers, for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and for Hollow Knight Silk Song, but I want a remake, sequels and reboots and new games with rare loot, a bona fide deluge.
Have all of that in 2026?
No, I want it now.
Here are 7 more PS5 games we want now, even though we still have great games at home. The first game we want right now is Resident Evil Requiem, and before you ask, no, it's not because we want to make Dave play it on stream so we can scare the pants off him.
Okay, maybe it is a little bit.
But there are so many other reasons to be excited. We get to go back to Raccoon City as the new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft. If that surname sounds familiar to Resi superfans, it's because she's the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak. Less specifically, this will be the first mainline entry in the Resi series since Resident Evil Village in 2021, 4 years ago, which in Resident Evil fan years is practically a lifetime. And Requiem looks to be very different to the more action-led tale of Ethan Winters attempting to rescue his daughter from the terrifying fingernails of Lady Dimitrescu.
They've got to be a nightmare to text with.
Requiem is going to be a more claustrophobic, corridor-crawling entry like with the Resi 2 and Resi 3 remakes. And like those games, there will be an unrelenting terror stalking us around those corridors, a la Mr. X or Nemesis. We don't know its name yet, but we do know from our time playing the demo that it can drop through ceilings, crash through walls, and absolutely lives up to the terrifying standards set by the series' previous big ugly monsters.
Oh well, I can always watch somebody else play it if I get too scared.
No, he's going to come through
Run, Dave!
I'm running! Rob! Okay!
Game number 2 we want right now, if you don't mind, please and thank you, is Crimson Desert, the single-player spin-off from the massively popular, massively multiplayer online RPG Black Desert from Korean developer Pearl Abyss. Set in the same fantastical universe as its internet-hogging older sibling, you play as Cliff, a frankly enormous man who basically feels like a character from a bombastic fighting game transported into a world of high fantasy. If you're wondering what that means for you, the player, it means you'll be knocking the stuffing out of everyone and everything with the strength and fury of a Force 10 hurricane. Magic attacks, got 'em. Elemental attacks, got 'em. Suplexing the bad guys,
Believe it or not, also got 'em.
The game looks amazing as well, not just in a wow what a huge world or look at the pretty water graphics way, but in a The Witcher 3 meets Elden Ring kind of way. Pearl Abyss have clearly got big ambitions with a pre-existing lore well to draw from and the development pedigree to back it up.
Basically, they are biting off exactly what they can chew.
Crimson Desert is a huge game and I want it. I want all the giant crab boss fights. I want to call in airstrikes with a bow and arrow. I want epic fantasy tales about this bearded man mountain literally named Cliff.
And I want it right flippin' now.
The third game on our list is Onimusha Way of the Sword, which, by the time it hits PS5 in 2026, will be the first mainline entry in Capcom's legendary action series for 20 years.
Way of the Sword will emerge into a world with Nioh and Sekiro in it. You know, it has to be good.
And from what we've seen of the game so far, it will be. New samurai protagonist Miyamoto Musashi, modelled on legendary Japanese actor Toshiro Mifune, continues the tradition of main characters based on A-list acting talent, and that's an obvious thrill for genre fans, but it's the Genma slashing action that has me salivating. This isn't a Souls-like, more a traditional linear action adventure, but there's always been a deliberateness and a sophistication to Onimusha's combat that, for me, elevates it above your typical hack and slasher.
Basically, I like it when you perfectly parry an enemy and then get to chop them in half.
And yes, I know that sounds like what all the games do, but you haven't seen a parry counter execution until you've seen an Onimusha parry counter execution. I remember pulling these off in Onimusha 3 while controlling Jean Reno wielding a whip made of fire.
Yes, that happened.
And feeling like I was the best gamer in the world. In Way of the Sword, doing this looks better than ever, plus Musashi can do other cool things like flipping tables and using them as temporary cover. There's a fair chance that some of you watching this won't even have been born when the last Onimusha came out on PS2.
Skibbity toilet, young people.
And to you, I say, get this game on your radar. I've already waited nearly 20 years. I can't wait much longer. I want it now. Next up, we've got 007 First Light. Now, James Bond is a bit of a video game holy grail, developers chasing that elusive 007 spark for decades. But when IO Interactive announced they were working on a Bond game, my reaction was, I imagine, one that we all shared. This makes so much sense.
With the Hitman games, IO already has half the puzzle solved.
And it's the bit that, for me, is the most important, the espionage. I'm not just talking about stealth here, although there's plenty of that, judging by the gameplay reveal in a recent State of Play. More the hiding in plain sight thing Bond is so renowned for, strutting about a decadent party, armoured with a suit and quick wits, gadgets and cocksure charm. This feels so much like Bond.
I just can't help but be incredibly excited by this. 007 First Light feels like the Bond game we've always wanted.
Without the pressure of adapting a specific film or trying to capture the essence of an A-list star, IO have been free to craft their own Bond story, putting us in the well-polished brogues of a young 007 as he looks to earn his license to kill.
Even if he lacks the license, he clearly has the ability.
What has me salivating are these set pieces, a layer of cinematic extravagance that goes far beyond anything IO did with Hitman. And it's not just that they're loud and exciting, it's that they feel Bond. You know, he's winging it, chucking empty weapons at enemies as a last resort, punching them over ledges, destabilising a plane, and then worrying about how he's going to survive the resultant plunge later on.
There's a chaotic elegance to it that just feels right.
27th of March, 2026. Hurry up, please, time. Phantom Blade Zero is number 5, and there are a few reasons this has me hyped. Firstly, the combat animations are styled after wuxia martial arts, meaning fights look like something out of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
If a video game can make me, notoriously bad at action games, look like I've been choreographed by Yun Wo Ping, then it deserves all of the hype as far as I'm concerned.
I kid, of course, I'm actually really good at games. Anyway, it's not just the stylish combat that's got me excited, it's the world in general. The game is set in the Shadow World, an original creation that fuses a fictionalized version of Ming Dynasty era China with an abrasive heavy soundtrack and an art style that developer S-Game has dubbed Kung Fu Punk.
That might honestly be the coolest genre name I have ever heard.
But what's got me most excited is how the burgeoning AAA video game development scene in China is starting to throw out some absolutely massive hits like Black Myth Wukong, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers and Lost Soul Aside. With that level of expertise and a creative vision as unique as Phantom Blade Zero, there is no mortal plane big enough to contain my excitement for this game.
Even if I am going to suck at it.
We can't have a list about games we want right now, please, and not include the one for which everyone's been desperate for the best part of a decade. Grand Theft Auto 6. Let's not kid ourselves, when GTA 6 comes out on the 26th of May 2026, the world is going to stop turning. It could well be the biggest game launch in history. Starfighter Connor has predicted there will be a mini economic crisis caused by everyone taking the day off or calling in sick.
Unfortunately for Starfighter Connor, I am the one who approves his holiday requests, and we will need lots of videos written when GTA 6 comes out.
Oh, that's not fair.
Life's not fair, Connor. It's not fair that even though it's so close now, GTA 6 still feels so far away. How many times have I watched those trailers now, marvelling at the detail, the vibrancy, the water graphics? At the time of writing, these two trailers have racked up a combined 396 million views.
Maybe not that surprising, but still a monumental achievement.
And yet, despite all the stats and how amazing the trailer looks, we still don't know loads about the game itself, which, if anything, just makes it even more exciting. We know Vice City looks incredible, and that the star-crossed lovers Jason and Lucia are seemingly a healthy and well-adjusted couple despite all the crime. But otherwise, the only thing we know for sure is that our need for GTA 6 has become practically spiritual.
If I don't get this game soon, I am going to... I don't know what I'll do actually, probably just tut and complain again.
Last up, we've got Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, the new game from Naughty Dog. Yeah, that's it. What else is there to say?
At this point, Naughty Dog have earned the right to make whatever the heck they want. You just know it's going to be groundbreaking.
But the fact they've chosen to make a sci-fi action game with 80s vibes and a Porsche spaceship has tipped me over the edge. It's everything I like, made by one of the best development studios on the planet. Protagonist Jordan A. Munn has a cool leather jacket and a sword that looks like it's made of radio waves. The score is composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and there's a pulpy new wave sci-fi feel to the whole thing that makes me feel like I'm looking at a game that's risen from the pages of New Worlds magazine.
We still know very little specifics about the game at this point. We know Jordan is a bounty hunter,
and that the planet of Semperia is not somewhere you want to end up. Personally, however, I can't wait to visit and see what marvels Naughty Dog has in store for us.
Whatever they make, I am there for it.
So there you have it, 7 more PS5 games we want right now, even though we have great games at home. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment about all the great games you want right now, even though you have great games at home as well. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to hear about even more games you will want as soon as you hear about them, and to keep up to date with all things PlayStation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
PlayStation